I'm Swarna Podila, and I work at Foundry Foundation, which is an open source foundation. So if you've heard of Linux Foundation, it's part of the Foundry is part of the Linux Foundation. After working almost for 15 years in engineering and product marketing, I recently made this transition into a community manager role. Moving into this community management role, it was nerve-wracking for me, mainly because I knew the extensive nature or the intensity of the human interactions it entails. I pretty much deal with a lot more people than a lot more technology today, and given Cloud Foundry technology itself, it's a really complex platform, and as a result, I end up dealing with a ton of people every single day. And those interactions and that experience as community manager has kind of given me this thought process of the need for the right village that we need to build, the need for human interactions. As human beings, we are social creatures. Sometimes we really crave interactions, and sometimes we really don't want to interact with people. So how do you identify when you need to have those interactions and when you need to have, who do you need to have those interactions with, I think is the right key. So these two are something that I recently came across. One is a tweet from, I'm not sure how if that is that person's account, but I just saw this on Twitter, where it puts the responsibility on us. Doctors don't make us healthy, teachers don't make us smart, nutritionists don't make us slim. Ultimately, that it is our responsibility to be our savior. If you want to be your own savior, it's up to you. And combine that with the lean-in philosophy, or that school of thought, where you have to lean in, you have to be vocal, you have to speak up and take the opportunity, seize the opportunity. Great. These schools of thoughts or these philosophies work really great probably, but not for someone like me, where coming from a conservative background where speaking up is considered rude, asking a question is translated to questioning the speaker, it doesn't translate well for me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other cultures or other people in this room probably have something similar. So I felt that moving from the responsibility on, putting the responsibility on ourselves was much more important, because guess what? All of us who are here, whether you're in a senior position or in a just starting kind of career position, we need a network, a support network. When we feel, like at least as a woman, I can speak for myself. When I feel really bad, I need to talk to a girlfriend. I need to really vent out with a girlfriend. Why? Because I need that kind of support from someone that can understand where I'm coming from, that can see my situation from my perspective. So that's when I realized that it's important about, what's more important is that kind of support network. Now, I'm not a science major, so please pardon me if there's more to human body than this, but as I was researching, I saw this. So I'll switch gears slightly. You'll see where I'm going with this. So human body, really the most intelligent machine. And one of the things that Tim Crawford, the next speaker, also mentioned something this morning was how the data is being stored in a DNA format because it can cram in a lot more data than humanly possible. So, okay, I will leave it at that. Don't want you all to know how stupid I am. Human body, you see a whole lot of systems, right? There's skeletal system, there's cardiovascular system, there's muscular system, nervous system, all of these different systems that help us function. So each of these individual systems need to work really well independently and also in sync with each other. Now think about it. Even if one of these systems fail to function the way they're designed to function, this human machine will break down. We will not be called healthy, we will not be functional, and we will not be able to do the job that we, as human bodies, need to function or need to perform. So think of it and translate this into your own life. Think of it as it comes to your team, your company, in a leadership position, as a woman in tech. We need to have individuals on our team or in our network that work independently well. Like as a team member, we should be able to perform well independently, but we also need to know how to perform well in sync with the rest of the team. And as a leader, when you're trying to form that team at your company, when you're trying to form that group of people that can take your company or your idea or your ambition to success, you need those set of people that can function well independently and also well in sync with each other. Now, I was born and raised in a really small town in South India. And it's not a village, it's a town. But every time my mom used to say, it takes a village to raise a kid, I would really was baffled. Mom, we're not from a village, we're from a small town, so why do you keep saying that it takes a village to raise a kid? And I never really understood the whole value or essence of that sentence. But now that I'm all grown up and I have kids who are almost into their teenage years, I realized what she meant. I need that kind of village to raise my kids. I need that neighbor whom I can call on to and say, hey, I'm running late from work, or I'm stuck in this meeting, can you go pick up my kid from school? Or I need to take my kid to the school nurse, or my kid just goes to the school nurse because they fell and got into a bloody situation. So you need that kind of network of people, whether it's the doctor, your next door neighbor, your extended family, your cousins, or your teachers, your first transponders, anyone. You need that kind of network of people in your society, in your community, that can help you raise your kid. Now, whether that kid that I'm talking about is your career, is your team, is your ambition, is your company, it all applies exactly the same way. Now, think about your company. Even Women in Cloud started as an idea, a discussion at a coffee shop. And to bring it to this kind of level where this event is now spread across 2 rooms with 1,000 people, it probably didn't take it from only one person. It needed a group of people working together well individually and also in sync. It needed a network of people that kind of acted as a support network to bring this event to success. So when I say that it takes a village to raise a kid, it's not just a little kid. Well, sometimes it is, as in my case as well. Sometimes that kid is your ambition, your dream, your idea, your company. So when you are in that leadership kind of position, think about it. Do we have a diverse group of people? Do we have a diverse set of people in our village that can help us? So I just took some notes during the morning talks. So Patty, the senator, mentioned it is everyone's responsibility. Do we have those set of people in our village where everyone feels responsible, everyone feels accountable, where everyone feels as committed as we want them to be to bring our idea or our company, our team to success? And then Gabriella also mentioned build your village with people who help you look at things from a different perspective. If we all look at it from the same perspective, she also showed that video about how perspective matters. If we all look at the same picture from the same perspective, we are not going to look at things differently. We are not going to consider how others should react to things, how others should receive the things that we are building. Let's say you're building a product. Are you considering people from all different facets of life? Are you considering visually impaired people? Are you considering auditorially impaired people when you're building your technology or building your platform, building your event, building your team? So are you considering all of those? And unless you have that diverse set of people in your village, in your community, in your team, you're probably not going to be able to think different. And she also said, fill it with diverse people to help you round out. So I always feel that when we are building our village, we need to identify people who can build us, who can build with us, who can help build our idea and our team and our ambition to success. It cannot be just people that break us, that fill our ideas or heads with useless pessimism. Yes, there are a lot of those kind of people as well. So when you're building your team, when you're trying to become that kind of a leader that takes that initiatives to success, fill your life with individuals around you, that support network around you, that help you become a better human being, better leader than who you are today. Life is too short to fill your network with people that bring you down. So Cloud Foundry community, as Wendy mentioned, I'm in the Cloud Foundry community. So the more I realize how the community functions within Cloud Foundry, the more I realize how profound of an impact the folks have on me. My language has changed in terms of how inclusive am I when I say some of the things? How is my language being received? Like when I hear my own sentences, do I hear it from a different person's perspective? If I were person X, Y, or Z, would I take my sentence the same way that I'm trying to convey it? I just picked a few random pictures from our Flickr account and from the Twitter accounts from our community. So if you see here, there's two pictures that I definitely intentionally picked. The one on the top left, where that gentleman over there, he's wearing an All Are Welcome Here t-shirt. There are folks in our community that intentionally, they're purposeful and they're intentional about bringing people together and bringing people up. It's not just about growing in their own careers, but it's also about making sure that the rest of the folks in the community grow together. It's about letting others know in the community that it's perfectly okay to speak up. And when we don't know how to speak up, they help us. At least I have seen in the Cloud Foundry community that they have helped not only me, but also a lot of others in the community that it's perfectly okay to speak up. Even if you think that it's a bad idea, just say it. Who knows, it might be the best idea. You may think that it's a bad idea, but once you say it, once people start discussing it, it might become the best idea possible. So never be afraid to speak up. And if you're not sure how to speak up, try and figure out slowly. You don't have to be the first one to speak up in a great big room of people. Start with a few people. Start with taking people aside and sharing your ideas. Once you get that kind of confidence, then you will have enough confidence to speak up in front of everyone. We also have the entire community that respects each other, mainly because the community thrives on one core philosophy or one core value, kindness. It's about being kind. It's not about being nice. Being nice is when you don't like something that someone's doing and you just don't say it because you're trying to be nice to them. It's about being kind, telling them that they're probably not doing the right thing or they're probably not doing it the right way, in a way that doesn't hurt their feelings, but that gives them the constructive feedback that they're looking for to make sure that they are taking the right step. So how to be kind, not just nice, how to be kind to others is one thing that the Cloud Foundry community at least has helped me focus and helped me learn. We also have, we've heard even Gretchen talking about the need for allies, need for that support network. So we have members in our community that are actively being part of the solution, not just in their words, but also in their actions. How they're part of the solution, not just part of the problem, being the dominant category in the technology industry, but being the dominant category, taking their privileged position and using it to help others, using it to make the community more inclusive, so that everyone feels welcome in our community. So in a sense, your villagers should help you, and your support network should help you recognize your weaknesses so that we can overcome the weaknesses if we need to overcome it. Help us identify our strengths, complement our strengths so that we can leverage and build up on our strengths. Help us become more empathetic. Thinking from someone else's perspective is an extremely difficult thing to do, and that is the most important thing that we need to do, especially in the technology industry. And how we can become a better human being than we are today, how we can become a better woman in tech than we are today, how we can become a better leader than we are today. And I think I have one more point of notes that I noted down here. As Margaret Dawson mentioned in the panel, believe in the power of Pact. Believe in the power of the pact that women bring to each other. Now, when you see someone else trying to build that village, help a woman, help a fellow woman out. Give that support. Be part of their village that they're trying to build. Be part of that network that they're trying to build. Be intentional. And when she mentioned about the pipeline as well, that immediately struck me, that look into your network and look at those people in your network and think about at least 5 women that you can think of that you can bring to the table or bring to the discussion. Once you have built your village, now it's time to give back. So if you're in a position here today where you have the privilege to help others, even if it's just helping one other person, being part of their village, that's all we ask for. Thank you very much.